Greetings. You know, I actually did this video yesterday. I'm putting it out on Friday. I did it on Wednesday night. And I had to redo it. It was a wonderful thing that I did. It was 10 minutes long. I talked about a lot of stuff. But I kept calling the manual wrong. And I realized it just as I was getting ready to publish. So we're starting over again. And it's not going to be as long, but it's still going to be as crucial. Because this is the 2019 CPT manual. Last night I kept calling it the Charge Master Manual, but it's the CPT manual. This is very important for billing and coding in every hospital and doctor's office. It's more crucial in hospitals because you're going to pretty much use a ton of these things. And I'm going to show you first the most important area that everyone should look at first, just to get something in their minds. And then I'm going to highlight something that it's really only happened within the last few years. It was something we never had to worry about before. But if you don't know about it, you might be doing some stuff wrong, or your folks might be confused. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that this is the Optum 360 manual. They actually have another manual, which is the American Medical Association's manual. But this bad boy is thicker, and it cost me $35 less than the AMA manual. So I went with theirs. And look at this thing. Oh my God. Last year's was almost this big. These things are huge. Anyway, there's a section in both manuals, and they're not both necessarily called Appendix B, but it's new, changed, and deleted codes. And the thing is, they put them all together so that you know where they are. So it starts off with all the new codes that you'll find in the manual. And then you'll get to changed codes. Change codes. Change codes basically means that we kept the number, but we've changed the description. Sometimes it's a very minor change. Sometimes it's a little more complex. But you need to look at that because you need to make sure that if you're actually doing that service, that you change the wording. It may not be exactly what you think you're doing. So you need that. Then you have a list of deleted codes. And you have no longer resequenced. I'll come back to that. And you have resequenced icon added. And that's pretty much it. But that's an important section to look at. Now, the thing I want to talk about are these resequenced codes. Because what happens, this is very odd, but they've always kind of done this, but not to this degree. Where they will decide, well, you know what? We're changing the structure of where we believe the code should be, so they will move them. Quite often, what they'll tell you is where it used to be, so you'll see the old CPT number, and then they'll tell you, go look at such and such a number, and then you go look at the other number. And they used to highlight that, and that used to be pretty simple to do. Well, it's not that simple anymore. For instance, here we are in lab, and up here, all those dark numbers, those are all resequenced codes in the lab area. Now, the way that they do this, it's very odd, is that they've kept them in proper order. So I picked one, which is 81274. So I picked that one. And I went to look at it, and everything is in proper order, only it tells you resequence code, see following reference code 81271. So I went to look up 81271, and it said to go back to 81274. Well, that's not helpful at all. But I knew the code had to be there. So I found the code. And the code actually follows a whole bunch of other numbers that are, well, it ends with 81364. So what I'm saying here is you get 81364, and then it starts it over again. And if you know where to look, there's that 81271 where it said look for something, and then there's 81274, and it tells you exactly what it is. So it tells you how it follows it. It's the silliest thing, but when you see something that says resequenced, it means it's actually there in the manual. They've just moved it somewhere else, and you have to find it. It's confusing as sin, but at least now you know, okay, it does exist, and it's there. We will find it. That's it. You know, there's a lot of these things, but I picked lab because lab usually has all kinds of stuff like that. There's a lot of new surgical codes. For those who don't know, surgical codes begin with 11 whatever or 10 whatever all the way through 69999. Those are all considered surgical. There's a bunch of new codes in the early part of the manual. So you want to check that out. And there's a bunch of deleted codes. There's always deleted codes as technology changes. That's what I have for you. If you're in a hospital business office, you need to have this. You just do. If you're in a physician's office, you need to have this. That's all I got. My name is Mitch Mitchell. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.